Chapter 5, Doing the LIMbo. When I was practicing medicine, I'd often tell my patients, the best exercise program is the one you actually do. Why there's sometimes compliance and sometimes resistance to what's good for us is a huge unknown in healthcare. Heck, in life altogether. According to some studies, 30% of prescribed medicines don't even get picked up at the pharmacy, and other studies show that another 30 to 50% don't get taken properly. If I set out to run 3 miles a day, 5 days a week, it'll almost certainly be on the bottom of my should-do pile within a week. But if I give myself something more enjoyable, like walking in a beautiful place 4 days a week, well, I'm still doing that one. In this book, I offer 40 ways of teaching your mind to recognize joy and make it a habit, like the morning appreciation shower. Please don't try them all at once. It's better to succeed at 1 a day than failing to do 7. I'm hoping you can commit to 10 minutes to the fundamental 5. They're that essential. You can use the fingers of your hands to remember them. The index finger pointing the way, representing the morning appreciation shower. The middle finger is come, sit, stay, giving the finger to discursiveness. The ring finger is about dropping into the heart center. The pinky represents sweetness of sacred sugar. And the 5th practice, LIMbo, is the thumb, which touches the other 4 and empowers all of them. I practice the LIMbo every morning as part of my prayer and stretching routine. Sometimes I do the LIMbo before the morning appreciation shower and sometimes afterwards. In Hawaii, before a halau, or a hula troupe, performs a sacred dance, they often recite a chant tracing the dance's lineage, the wisdom tradition, and the great dancers from whence it came. In LIMbo practice, the L stands for the lineage of ancestors and teachers who have helped you, who are cheering you on. I recited and listened to lineage chants from a number of traditions before realizing that I had to discover and acknowledge my own, to personalize the heartfelt connection I felt towards certain ancestors and enlightened beings. Acknowledging your lineage, your ancestors, is a bridge that can lead to recognizing the world and its beings as sacred. When you imagine and connect with your lineage, you're activating 2 powerful superchargers of happiness. One is the power of love and appreciation for what others have done on our behalf, which opens our heart center. The other is the power of imagination, which wires new connections in the brain, allowing us to inhabit a more alive and interactive world. When the brain isn't filtering experiences into preconceptions of limited possibilities, we live in a more vivid world ripe with invitation. Using our open heart and open brain, we see a more connected world. We get empowered by relationship. Begin by getting a couple of big sheets of newsprint or poster paper and randomly write down names of some folks who have helped you in your life, people who have lifted you up or given their time and energy to guide you. I suggest starting with your parents, the people who gave you life. Hopefully, you have a soft spot in your heart for them, an appreciation of what they did for you. This appreciation may grow as you get older and have your own kids. Feel the glow of appreciation in your being. If your relationship with your parents is too complicated or unpleasant for this, select some of the teachers and mentors who have helped you in your life. Once you start, the process may gain momentum, and you'll likely think of more and more people who have guided you in a positive direction. At first, it may be a vague appreciation exercise, but in my case, I was overwhelmed by how much care and wisdom many people have selflessly given me. I wrote lists of people who have helped, taught, or coached me, or who I admire, and I got really alive to the process. I'm still updating my lineage visualization almost daily. The practice morphs and is alive like a painting at Harry Potter's Hogwarts. I visualize some of my lineage as above and in front of me. Some of these people are flanked around me like bodyguards. Do it however you like. It's your creative painting. Above me and in front of me are my teachers, enlightened ones who have taught me and shown me love and compassion. They include the many great teachers I've met and some I've not met, like Jesus. Think how much you owe the people who have taught you about love and kindness. Contemplate for a second what your life would be like if you hadn't been taught about love or kindness. I like to acknowledge them first and include teachers from Hawaiian, Native American, Christian, Buddhist, Shambhala, and Scandinavian lineages. Once I see each of them individually in my mind's eye, I picture them as a group, like a family reunion photo. The debt of gratitude inspires a sense of delight, a living relationship connection. Below the enlightened teachers, but still in front of me, are influential mentors who might not have been spiritual teachers, but gave me some wisdom, support, or confidence. My 5th grade teacher was the first gentle, soft man I ever met. I acknowledge dance teachers and football coaches. This tier is also where I make space for my blood ancestors, grandmas, and crazy uncles who gave me something and added something to my life's tapestry. And below them are my enemies, or as I sometimes call them, my sparkers. These button pushers stretched my boundaries and required self-examination. In the practice of cultivating happiness, we can make peace with them as well, through acceptance, humor, and appreciation. They too have a place in our lineage. In Hawaiian tradition, acknowledging guardian beings, aumakua, is a given. You might have your own version of protectors like angels, ancestors, or animal guides. I visualize mine surrounding me in the 4 directions, and sometimes below and above as well. Lineage might not be just living things. I include the 4 elements of earth, water, fire, and air too. And you might include renowned figures you haven't known personally. I'm surrounded by great earthly leaders like Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, and Mother Teresa. I also include artists who've moved me through music, dance, writing, painting, and cinema. The process of identifying ancestral support, once started, keeps expanding, and you can include more and more people, incidences, and elements that nudge you in a positive way. Whatever your lineage, have fun imagining them and painting them in your mind's eye. Maybe you might make a lineage collage from old pictures, whatever makes these connections come alive. Don't imagine a stagnant picture. Imagine more like an ever-changing video or live performance. You might get winked at. Perhaps there's a place on the planet, like great mountains or great lakes or even individual trees that touch you or support you. Once you have a relationship by honoring these forces, you can summon and share with them your fears and your dreams. This lineage practice can lead you to the magic of interconnectedness and auspicious openings and opportunities. Your lineage supports and embellishes your life. Sometimes I'm surprised at who shows up to join the team, an experience that brings me a smile and humility. Lineage paintings take an investment of time and energy at first, and then with practice, it's yours. We all have a stadium full of ancestors and teachers, friends who are rooting for us to love our lives, to be happy, and to let in the message of presence and service. So much for the American ideal of rugged individualism. We all stand on the shoulders of giants. It's fun to feel connected to lines of energy that feed our hearts. If you're rooting for human wisdom in these perilous times, there's a huge team of fans rooting for you. The I in LIMbo stands for intention. Set an intention for each day, perhaps something mundane like doing your taxes, or something sacred like being more present, loving, or kind. Set a course for the day in your mind, a brief acknowledgement of where I'd like to go. Remember, the best exercise program is the one you actually do. Your intention doesn't need to feel like a chore. It's more like setting a bearing on your compass for the day. It's an acknowledgement that each day is a gift, a place for us to play and create. Like any habit, intentions get easier and more natural as we repeat the process. It might take just a second, but intention sets a target for our day. The M is for motivation. Feel what truly motivates you. This is a deep practice that unfolds with the doing. Your motivations might change and deepen as you get happier. Getting to know your motivations is like mining your own heart and mind for why and how you live your life. Motivation is both the North Star and the rudder. Ask yourself these open-ended questions. What motivates me to do what I do? What's inspiring me at this moment? The answer may be surprising on both a micro and macro level. Once you know your motivation, you can examine your actions and evaluate whether they're in alignment with what moves you. Did what motivates you get accomplished, or was there a disconnect between motivation, action, and outcome? I had a friend who was stuck in a painful loop of rumination. My motivation was to help them, but instead, my communication hurt that person. My motivation was good, but my means were unskillful, even painful. An analysis of the gap between motivation and result is where the rubber meets the road. The sincerity of your motivation may be what saves you from the pain of the gap between intention and outcome. I believe if there's anything that continues on to another life, it's motivation. It's our bank account and future investment agreement. Once you've opened the floodgates, allowing these powerful waters of lineage, intent, and motivation to flow, they will course in their own direction. It's rewarding to bring lineage, intention, and motivation into your life as a daily ritual. Try it. You'll like it. I practice LIMbo at the end of each stretch routine, raising my arms to the sky. My LIMbo ritual is brief because I invested some time in the development, but it sets me on a course that reverberates throughout my day.